very positive about the finances of the company and reducing our debt, increasing our cash build. It's definitely the result we're looking for.
Alkane Resources Managing Director Nick Erner joins me now to discuss high-grade gold hits and resource expansion potential at the Tomingley Gold operations in New South Wales. Nick, it's always good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks, Jonathan.
So you've made multiple high-grade gold discoveries in this underground drilling at Tomingley. Can you talk us through the results and what they mean for those near-term reserve estimates and, as we said, their production outlook?
Thanks. So two different resources that we've drilled outside of and within at Tomingley. The first one, Coloma 1. So this is resource drilling, and if people go to the announcement and they look, they can see that there's graphics that we have in there that show that we're drilling underneath the existing ore body. And we've got some sensational hits there. We've got multiple grams per tonne, fives, eights, substantial widths, quite high grade. People should definitely have a look at it. And so what you can see there is that's right next to our existing infrastructure at Coloma. So we're very confident in quite a volume, and of course in adding to that reserve in the years to come. Second to that, of course, on the next page of the announcement, the second page of the announcement, people can see we've had some very, very high grade hits, tens of meters at plus 10 grams in Roswell. And this is as we're doing our grade control drilling in the upper portion of the ore body. So that will be incorporated naturally in the reserve as we upgrade that resource definition as part of our work from underground. But both of them, to be honest, Jonathan, the Roswell area, we're looking at mining that maybe later next year. And the Coloma will just get it added into our overall resource inventory. So that will get mined in the years to come. Remembering that we have, mine life and permits out towards 2032 at the moment. And of course, we'll seek to extend that further.
I just want to touch on that timeline a little bit further. You're assessing that economic recovery potential, the possible inclusion in future mining plans. Can you talk us through those plans and what that timeline looks like in a bit more depth?
Yeah, so certainly. So we have a couple of things, going in our favour. So number one is the Roswell ore body is substantial, which the one we're predominantly mining at present, and open at depth. So we've got that in our mine plan for 3-4 years. As well as that, we have Coloma 2 resource extension results that we released several weeks ago. We've got this Coloma 1 resource extension result. Both of them solid grades, comparable or even a little higher in Roswell in some ways. Recoveries, play a factor, of course, as well as does the depth. So we update our reserves. Typically, we put out an announcement, around August, September, after we've closed off June 30. And so that should, both Coloma and Coloma 2 should come out in the resource statement in sort of August, September this year. But what does it mean? Probably means another couple of years at the existing mine itself, as distinct from the extension south at Roswell. That certainly pushes us well into the 2030s underground. So, yeah, very, 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 very positive. For what we do, which every mine does, is we say, okay, what are the most economic stopes to pull out at this period of time, taking into account equipment moves, resource allocation, etc. So what's really positive for us is that it's showing the depth that's open on that eastern side of our mine in its existing format.
And you mentioned the previous results that you released a couple of weeks ago, but overall, the last three months, the last quarter, it's been a solid quarter. Can you talk me through the quarter and what you're looking at?
Yeah, it's been a great quarter, particularly when you combine it with these results showing the future of the mine. Obviously, we've got record Aussie dollar gold price. Despite the world volatility at present, but yeah, we had a great cash build in this quarter. We'll have our full quarterly coming out in around Anzac Day, right? So we thought we'd put this release out, particularly people would want to understand our volatility. Understand our cash situation given the world volatility. We wanted to try and get as much information out as early as possible. So yeah, we produced over 17,500 ounces. We're on track. The last quarter in March, we produced nearly 7,000 ounces. We've got to meet the bottom end of our guidance, we've got to do 19,000 ounces. We're feeling pretty confident, comfortable about that. our cash is built. We've paid down some of the debt on the equipment finance. We've retired another 6,000 plus ounces of hedging. So we're in really solid shape. This is the inflection point that we're expecting, Jonathan, in our cash build. We've finished the capital spend on the paste plant, we've finished the capital spend on the flotation and fine grind. We're yet to commence anything on moving the highway of a substantial nature because we're still doing permitting work there. So yeah, very, very positive about the finances of the company and reducing our debt, increasing our cash build. It's definitely the result we're looking for.
So plenty to look forward to, but just to look in the next couple of months or so. Well, what will we see from Alkane coming up?
Yeah, well, so we'll continue to see, the production that we're guiding to. That's what we expect to see. We'll have some updates on the timing of moving the highway as we get feedback from the regulator on, the constructors' environmental permits and licenses enabling us to do that. So we'll be able to clarify that when we know, of course, our shareholders will know. And we continue to look at exploration both across, Boda, Kaiser, and in and around Tomingley. So those, as those results come to hand, we'll put them out. So it's a bit of a steady quarter. At the same time, of course, we continue to look at, as I've spoken in numerous occasions before, inorganic growth opportunities. We discuss with people about, is there synergies from coming together? Are there development projects that we could get involved in? So we continue to watch and work on those in the background all the time.
Nick, yeah, certainly a lot to look forward to, and one of the only companies over the last couple of days whose share prices has increased. So good times there as
Yeah,
well.
it's been a tumultuous period, and it's so difficult for all of us as investors. It's very, very hard to let short-term emotion and turmoil that comes overriding. But I think with Alkane, people can see we're still undervalued versus our peers despite all the volatility and gains. So we expect to see some of that flow through into our share price as well. So we're feeling very positive at the moment.
Yeah, look, Nick, it all looks good, and thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Jonathan. Much appreciated, mate.